tell us about our past and where we've been as an institution, and addressing some of that is another institutional pillar that we are losing, and that's Carol Rupe. Now, Carol, I'm going to go ahead and say something about you right now, too, because you are, at 45 years, the longest tenure of any employee at Shasta College. Any employee. 45 years. And so it's only fair and fitting and right that the two of them are going to apparently speak for each other. So ladies, come on up here.
Told her she couldn't look at me. Usually I didn't talk without any notes. I don't think that's very good. I know I can't talk with this thing. I thought well, hopefully inspirational kind of a saying that is framed. It's right here. I'll read it to you. I was going to give it to her, and let me share what it says, because it reminded me of her so very much. It says, be the kind of woman that when your feet hit the floor each morning, the devil says, oh crap, she's out. I realized that she's already that kind of woman. It doesn't be the kind of woman, it's that she is absolutely one that can make the devil shake in his shoes. I want to share over the last 37 years, and I didn't know her when she was hired, but we have become best friends. I want you to know what I know about her. So I decided that I would probably just talk about her character traits. You know these well, I think you do. But I want to share a little bit more about them. When I analyzed everything that I love about this person, service is absolutely one of her primary characteristics. She's got a servant's heart. And whether it's serving our students at Shasta or her 4-H students, the ones who are raising the lambs, or whether it's serving the faculty or the mentally ill at Stillwater or the pregnant teens at Northern Valley Catholic Social Services, she is absolutely there to help in any way and inexhaustible when it comes to somebody in need. When it comes to initiative, hardworking, creative, enduring, there are times when I absolutely am amazed at the energy level that she has. I've always said she's a can-do person. I will never forget the time that I had a family emergency, and Anita Maxwell was a big part of this as well, but they rescued me, and Joan just can do. I can take your classes, I can teach these classes that I've never taught before, but and she can do a good job at doing something like that. When you're talking about the idea of can-do, one of her passions is the kids' camps. And to bring these kids on campus and to give them the sense that this is a good place. And we're talking elementary school kids. And to take away that intimidation of college so that they feel comfortable in coming out there. I will never ever forget, and she'd come back with stories that were absolutely delightful. And I'll never forget the one time that she was telling us about that particular day, and this was in foods, and the menu involved monkey bread. And this little boy, very, very serious, now she's telling us this story, came up to her as they're talking about, this is what we're going to make today, and you're going to love it. And he came up and he said, in my family, we don't eat monkeys. It's just like, she would get joy out of these kinds of things, and she would just share these stories, and it's just absolutely, even recently, we were talking about a wedding that my daughter is going to have this June, and the cake creator is somebody who's very artistic and absolutely delightful, and his name was Wiley, and then she immediately went back to the kids' camps and said, oh, I wonder if it's my Wiley. Maybe he was so cute, and he's grown up, and he's maybe her Wiley. We just want to find this out someday. It's just phenomenal. Courageous, I call it spunk. This is absolutely the can-do person. How many of us could go off into adventures and think we can do the kinds of things that Joan has done over the years? She's just absolutely amazing. How many of us could think that we could step in and be dean and do such a fabulous job? It's just so incredible. Justice, fairness, there are things that are not okay. And she will be the first one to let people know what's not okay. And that's not just for her, it's absolutely, she's going to fight for the others, the rights of others in that arena. Integrity, her work ethic, talk about the idea of show up. It's absolutely mandatory. And when she's not feeling well, it is absolutely her camouflage extraordinaire that she will come through and she will be excited and she will carry on and she will just absolutely go through all of the stuff that a lot of people would cave in, and she doesn't. Generosity. She's the most generous person I've ever known in my life. Whether it's a helping hand, whether it's a meal, whether it's resources, whether it is just being there to lend sympathy, to lend a caring ear, she's there. Humor, a great deal of her success, I think, with the students, with the faculty, is the ability to laugh at herself, to laugh at us, to laugh at absolutely everything she's going through. Pride, I see it. I see it absolutely in the long-lasting, devoted marriage she's had to Steve, in her children. Nellie, for some way, I think, captured the best of both of her parents' characteristics. She's this high-powered attorney in New York. She is the one that we're going to stay with when we go back to see the colors this fall. This is absolutely. Craig, who happens to be here tonight, and has, I think, even surpassed his mother in his ability to understand people and his ability to work with them in some incredible way. Jane Ann, we're blessed to have her as part of our Shasta College campus now. And nobody could ask for a daughter that is any better. Her two grandbabies, Carter and Kennedy, they are the light of her life right now. Absolutely. And her pride in her 37 years with us at Shasta College. Encouragement, nurturance, and hope. I'm just about through. This is what's magic to watch. Yesterday, okay, I have seen highly fragile students. That's a nice way of putting it, okay? Go into her office and she can literally give them a dose of Bosworth that will help them straighten their shoulders, walk out with a smile on their face, and hope in their hearts that they can make it. And most people would just be shaking their heads, and she can give hope, sometimes even to the hopeless. She's magic to watch, and I've had that privilege, and I absolutely adore her. So much.
Carol, the time has come. 45 years employee, longest tenure, and what an amazing time she's had with the nutrition instructors over at their office. And I don't know if you have never been in there, be sure to go, because the first time I walked in there I went, is this for real? It was perfect. It is a gem. It is, and it reflects their personalities and their synergy and the way they work together. So I'm going to let them say goodbye to one another, and this will be our final goodbye of the evening.
Thank you very much, and it truly is an honor. Ash, you have obviously heard, we are, as our students have called us, and I'm not making this up, we are the dream team. They were saying that several of them, many of them, as they have left the last couple weeks after they realized we're all three leaving. And it really has been. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. But what do you say about Carol? All of you know how wonderful and magnificent she is. She, if you cut her veins, they would bleed green. She is Shasta College through and through. She started in 1969. She was a new graduate. She had done her 5th year of teaching, or student teaching at UC Davis. And she got an interview up here at Shasta College, and she was being highly pursued by our vocational dean at the time. There was one at the time, and that was Lloyd Livingston. She also, as she was pursuing the job at Shasta College, she had a job in Orange County. And at Orange County, she thought, oh wow, to live in Orange County, how wonderful this would be. She was single. Hey, why not go to Orange County? But because of her gut instinct, she says, I knew there was something about Shasta College. And she truly came and built our home economics and family studies. We've changed our name because we've had to evolve as times have changed. She was hired by our beloved Gil Collier, who was an awesome administrator. He had a passion about education that, you just couldn't put your finger on it, but you knew he valued you as a teacher, and she's always has spoke so highly and in awe of his reverence for his teachers. But as we go on though, Carol was here, now we're kind of going back like once upon a time. Carol was here before the 900 building was built. They're surprised too. Oh my God. She was here, and I don't want to say, but I was here too, before the waterfall was built. Yes. She and I and Terry were here before the redwoods were planted. Is that not? We're now teaching our students, our early students, grandchildren. So it really is time. For us. She also was here older than, well, when we all came, there was not the $2.99 overpass. So we have been here a long time, but I can tell you, as being an office mate with her for 35 years, there's no one any better, and I think all of you know that. Those of you, I see Carolyn smiling that has been in, and Karen who has been on curriculum committee with her. There's no one any better for that. There's no one any better for students who have issues, and she teaches life management, and she really does teach from the basics, and she teaches from the heart, and she uses her life examples, and I think that's so important, and I think that's one of the reasons that Student Connects, because when she can tell her students, this is what happens to me, or what has happened to me, or this is what has happened to a friend, that it doesn't seem so foreign or so obscure to our students that they're the only ones going through that. And through her teaching, she's really had that wonderful gift, and it truly is a gift to give that to her students. Her students adore her. All you have to do is come by our office and see all the students. And I think it was November, she came to the board meeting, and she had gave a short speech to the board, and she had said, I want to see you in my classroom, and I welcome you to come, because I want you to get a feel of who we are and what we are doing in those classrooms. We are changing students' lives every single day. And I think that's one of the things that Carol and Terry and I will all miss. Yes, we will certainly miss the Sherry Whaleys and Debbie Parasot's and the Colleen Hyers and the Linda Littles. You'll always be our friends forever. But those faces of our students, when they see that they have turned, the light they got it too. Her favorite saying is, "You cannot enlighten the unconscious." And isn't that true? And many things she also says is, "Bless you." How many times have all of you received an email or a written handout from you? Bless you, bless you. Well, hey, that never gets old. And we just want to say to you, bless you. Thank you.
Yes.
There is no doubt that I will miss you more than you can possibly imagine. It's always the people. It's always the precious moments that we have together that is going to re-energize us and give us that sense of what we're doing is absolutely the best thing that we can possibly do in this world. And I thank you, every single one of you, for being here tonight. That's so powerful. I thank you for loving the students and encouraging us all along the way to love them as well. And I thank you for giving me this chance. I want to thank my Dan, patience extraordinaire, support unbelievable. My Amy, nothing could be more fulfilling than to see her involved in something that I love so much and here tonight. My Jared wasn't able to be here for good reasons. He's in the LAPD Academy and they wouldn't let him out. At least it's the Academy. It's not when you're talking about the best friends that anybody could possibly have. We are so intertwined that we couldn't stand to be behind if somebody left. And so consequently, we are exiting and have all kinds of plans to stay together. And I will miss you terribly. But know that I will champion everything that you are doing and look forward when you can join us so that we can in the future have these moments together. Thank you with all my heart.